What are we doing?
Oh, we are here for the Master of Unlocking podcast.
That's better.
And we have food.
Those are mine.
Eating on...
Well done.
I had
Set him
fries.
up, knock it down. Set him up, knock it down. Yep.
I had fries. I ate all mine fries. Actually, my children
Yeah,
ate
your
half
children
of my
ate
fries
most of your
before
fries,
they
I
even
feel
made it
like.
down here. We've got all 3 chicken sandwiches from McDonald's
When did these launch?
about a month ago, I would say. So we have the...
Who promotes them?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
He's such a... I love it. I love Brian Cox on the McDonald's commercials. I do. I really do.
They are great.
He hasn't had McDonald's since he was probably 40.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
he's not eating McDonald's now, but he can still promote it.
Right.
No, not at all.
He does not eat a meal that's under $50 a day.
Oh, probably
there's
not.
no
Yeah,
way.
I can only see him eating very fancy steaks. You got to.
Unless it's the goddamn soap
Oh
from
yeah.
Super Troopers. And then he has eaten that. Oh, hell. Give me the goddamn soap.
All right, which one are we starting with? I'm hungry. We need to get
Okay,
into
yeah,
this.
we should get to this. So we do have the original, the deluxe, and the spicy. So original is going to have nothing on it but pickles. Deluxe is going to have mayo, and spicy is going to have the yellow sauce. Are we going original first?
Original makes most sense, right?
Original makes the
Who
most
cut
sense
these
here.
up?
We cut them into thirds. Thirds is a weird way to cut a burger or a sandwich.
Make
I
sure,
do
make
have
sure I
a
get some
little bit of
pickle on
pickle
this.
my corner.
I know. Yeah, everybody have pickle? This ASMR mukbang video is brought to you by McDonald's. Eating when recording is terrible.
I got hot reacts. You guys?
Go ahead. I don't
Go
have
ahead,
such
yeah.
hot.
Do they use these buns on any other sandwich of theirs right now?
Not that I know
No,
of.
I can't think of any other bun that.
So
they
what
use as
they're really coming out of the gate with these buns. This is a good bun.
That's
Better
a
than the
damn
Mc-
good bun.
Yeah, better than any other McDonald's bun I've had.
That's for sure.
And I don't think this bun is competing with other premium chicken sandwiches. Is this competing with the Popeyes bun actually?
I think
Maybe
I
that's
think
it.
a lot of these buns. These buns have a name.
Oh, do they?
No, it's.
Is it like a-
what I did with my phone? I must have left it upstairs. But there is a type of bun that they use with
Okay.
these.
They're sweet. They're golden. They've got like a buttery top.
All right, well, full review incoming in a couple minutes.
Mhm.
Let's move on
To the next sandwich,
to the next sandwich.
which is the
I'd say deluxe,
Deluxe,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, deluxe, right?
What's on here?
This would be tomato and pickle. Pickle. Sorry, tomato, lettuce, and mayo. I don't know if I see any pickle on here. No, I don't see any
I don't
pickle.
see pickle.
All right, let's dive in here. Oh gosh, what happened?
Tomato everywhere.
Oh, tomato explosion.
Is your couch under warranty? It's been tomatoed.
Yeah, I don't know if I bought the fabric protection. It's leather; it'll wipe off.
The bun's still good on that one.
Bun's still good.
I'd like to report.
I would like to say that I think that the sandwich definitely benefits from a sauce.
Yeah.
So mayo.
Yeah, we've moved up here. Let's keep moving up.
What is this
Maybe-
one? That's
maybe
called
not.
the deluxe.
It's the deluxe. Yes.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Spicy,
Spicy.
I'm
So
I'm
we have,
nervous about this one.
so we have a spicy sauce and pickles.
and that's it.
That's it. Nothing else on this guy. That's a spicy sauce.
That's some heat.
Yeah. There's those fries over there. I'll help you out with that.
Yep.
No eye contact. No eye contact.
Okay. That's a little more than like buffalo sauce.
That's too much for me, I think.
Have we
That's a
reached
lot.
live on the show? We've reached your.
That is I think that's like right over the edge for me.
It is?
Like, yeah.
Oh, there it is. It took me a second.
Right?
It's got a very peppery aftertaste.
It's coming in. The aftertaste is You know what that tastes like to me, and I don't think they make it anymore. But the Kraft was like one of the first to like merge condiments into a bottle before like Cranch and
Yeah.
Mayo Chup and like all that stuff. They had like a hot sauce mayo, and that's definitely mayo.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah,
That's
it's
a mayo.
mayo.
That's mayo,
Mhm.
just like spiked.
That's hot mayo.
Yeah, that's
Hot mayo.
Hot mayo.
Hot.
That is hot.
Yeah.
I am genuinely surprised at how hot that is.
You guys
Definitely.
want to rank your sandwiches?
Maybe we should do that when we come back after we've
Yeah,
taken
we're-
the
so,
full
yeah, we're not gonna-
sampling.
Yeah, we're not going to
Okay.
actually eat all of the sandwiches on here, so we're going to do a quick dinner break,
Yeah.
and we'll be right back.
When got dessert out of the way.
Well, I guess we already did one earlier. So we're fine.
we did a test run earlier. Oh. Well, that was delicious.
Awful, just terrible.
No.
I couldn't even finish all of it. It was
So had anyone actually had this before tonight?
no.
Okay.
Not
I
me.
had actually had the regular and the deluxe. I had not had
Cheater.
the spicy. I was so hungry like about 3 weeks ago. I was like, I gotta have this thing. That's why I was
Could
pushing
have
for
anything,
it.
but no, he has to have the thing we're gonna food challenge.
Yeah.
him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's delicious. Anyway, we had all three. How do you want to? Do we want to discuss each one of them? Probably let's start with the original.
Original is really good, but it needs something on it.
It needs
You got to dip it in something.
It needs a
or-
sauce.
yep.
It needs a mayo. It needs a ranch. It needs
Barbecue.
You tried barbecue.
Yeah.
I threw some hot mustard on it. Dipped it in some ranch.
Anything. Whatever dipping sauce of choice, just dip it in that.
It's too dry.
Even
otherwise.
the sweet and sour might even work for that. Like
Mhm.
whichever one you want from McDonald's, just grab it and dunk it, and you'll be happy.
I think if they standard McChickened it and just threw the mayo and the lettuce on, I'd be all right. And then to the deluxe, I would say throw tomato and pickle on it instead of just tomato.
Yeah, I think if I'm gonna get deluxe again, I'm gonna add pickle to it. I think is
I think that seems fair.
No cheese. Why not cheese?
I'm not as big of a fan of cheese as you guys. I feel like
I don't
so-
I don't care for cheese on a chicken sandwich.
It's on your favorite Chick-fil-A item.
That's a spicy item with pepper jack. But if you're talking
Okay.
an American cheese on a plain chicken sandwich, no, not for
Okay.
me.
I didn't. know
Although
that
it
the
did work
pepper
out really
jack
well
was
on
in
that Burger King one.
Mine didn't come with it,
So-
so I couldn't tell you.
there. It's
Maybe I'm sleeping on
I
fast
think
food cheese.
American cheese. You'd be surprised, like fast food American cheese, American ass cheese. I'm telling you, on a chicken sandwich, something about it. I don't know. I'm sad there was no cheese on any of it, but that's okay. What do you-
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you guys think that the original or regular doesn't have any sauce? I think I know why. Any thoughts?
The Chick-fil-A one doesn't.
Right.
Right, that's probably why.
So this is an interesting thing that McDonald's is going, well, we're going to launch this new chicken breast, like the new breast fillet we've got,
A
right?
premium chicken sandwich.
So we've got the thing. How do we turn this into 3 different items? Well, they do it like, well, we'll add a sauce here or we'll add toppings here, and there you go. Boom. But the other places haven't done that. As we go through this like massive chicken sandwich renaissance. So Popeyes launches one, it explodes. But by default, mayo, pickle. The Colonel launches one. By default, mayo, pickle. But not an assortment of sandwiches, just one sandwich.
A singular sandwich.
So it's interesting to me. I'm not going anywhere with this. Trust me.
Okay, that's fair.
It's
I thought
interesting.
you were gonna wrap it back
No.
up with like some kind of
It's interesting.
profound point.
It's interesting to me. No, save that for the gaming segment or the TV segment. Stay tuned. It's interesting to me that they go after Chick-fil-A, and not go after them, but like they use that model. Like even Wendy's. Wendy's doesn't give you this choice either.
I think it might actually be kind of like, okay, so McDonald's is for garbage American people, right? Like us. Like we are like white trash, like vanilla ass people of
like McDonald's.
Yes, like McDonald's. Like
Just keep
us.
it coming.
Exactly. So like what do
Nailed it.
people like that like on
It's a
their
really
chicken
nice
sandwich?
trailer.
They like things plain, you know? They like things with no sauce.
Do they really?
I don't know.
I feel like
Maybe.
everybody wants some
I could
sort
see
of.
that mindset, though. I could see that train of thought.
Either that, or I could just see it being like, okay, this is our cheap chicken sandwich. You want the cheap one, you go this route, because each one of them goes up in price a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's my other thought. Is like, hey, here's our cheap alternative to the chicken sandwich, even though the McChicken is actually the cheap alternative.
It's damn good too. For the
That-
record.
It's so good for being
Dude, the
$1.
McChicken is so good.
yeah, it's real good. Yep.
I mean, that's the one thing with that, the deluxe. You can tell that's McDonald's mayo. Man, that thing's got a taste, and it's
Yeah.
good. It just has its own. I feel like it's got its own layer of grease that drips off of it.
Have you ever asked for a mayo packet in the app for McDonald's?
No, didn't
By
even do
default,
that.
always going to be light, not the mayo you're looking for.
Oh yeah, because their mayo comes in a gun.
I think you're right, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, it is.
doesn't it?
Like
They reload the tube.
yeah, they reload the tube. Yeah, it is.
No, it's just single shot.
It's literally like it's silicone caulk. Like it is just coming right out of the thing.
Someday Logan's gonna have a mental breakdown. Sir, no! Shoot it in my mouth! Shoot it in my mouth! Sir, you need to get from behind the counter, sir. No, you in my mouth.
There's some. That's about right.
the spicy one was too spicy.
Yes, also true. I think if you put some regular mayo, shoot some mayo gun on it, it'll be all right.
Yeah, that's
It was too
I'm not a
much.
fan of spicy stuff in general, so that was too much for
Least
me.
favorite of them
oh
for
yeah,
you.
that by
You.
far.
Yeah.
Least favorite as well.
Least favorite as well.
My favorite.
Really?
Really,
I really like that sauce.
it was a little too much.
Okay. I'm okay. I respect that,
Mm-hmm.
but it was at my spice pleasure point.
okay.
So it hit. If you do that right, and it's not just straight like Frank's and mayonnaise
Mm-hmm.
for me. If there's something else going on there, and that's not like it wasn't like a wing sauce or a buffalo sauce.
No,
There's some other I don't
Pepper
know. They call it
sauce.
pepper.
it was
sauce.
pepper. Yeah.
There was something more there, and I really like that sauce a lot. They can gun me down with that sauce.
I mean I like spicy sauces too, but that one just wasn't. You know what? No, I take it back. That's my second favorite one.
Is it?
Yeah, because I kept the more I kept dipping other stuff into the regular one.
You
I
gotta
forgot
force
about
that regular
it.
one.
Yeah,
You
the
need-
regular one's a third. Yeah,
something.
the spicy one's a 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I think I'm definitely getting one of these again, but got to remember if you get the deluxe, add pickle. If you get a regular one,
Add mayo.
add some sort of sauce, whichever McDonald's sauce you like.
get
the
a
best,
cup of something.
Yep.
Get a gunshot of
and dunk it.
mayo.
Do we do episode titles?
We did
Gun me down with the hot sauce or what? Or hot mayo?
me down with the hot mayo, the McDonald's mayo gun. Oh gosh, we do need. Yeah, we should start doing episode titles at this
Quickly
point.
before we move on, because we spent a lot of time on McDonald's chicken sandwiches.
There were 3.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I mean, I wanted to do everyone eat all 3 sandwiches, and you guys thought that was a
I'm
little too much.
really glad we didn't do that because I'm kind of full right now.
I wouldn't be in a very good spot. Plus, I'm coming over here, so there's always going to be
well,
dessert.
and there would have been like
true.
3/4 of a spicy chicken sandwich sitting here for you guys to
that.
fight over.
Never mind. Never mind. Hold on. I like your original plan.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
go back.
Yeah, everybody take a bite. Keep the one you like the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
I want your chicken sandwich is what I'm saying. That's our
Okay.
plan B on the title.
Plan
I
B,
want your chicken sandwich.
Interesting.
What's your
I think
spicy
we could have
chicken?
actually done that because I would have gladly taken the regular one, and then we could
So
have
that's-
split this.
That's how low the spicy is.
Yeah, I
on
can't do
your-
it. I just can't.
Yeah.
I
So
can't
you
do
would
that.
rather eat the dry ass sandwich and not deal with that
Yeah.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is your number 1 the deluxe then?
Yeah, yeah.
Mine too. Would yours be a 2 on the deluxe?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely. And it's not even close. Like, well below is just the regular one, and then the deluxe is way up here, and then just barely is the spicy.
That deluxe was damn good. I liked it. Yeah.
I would add cheese. That's the only other
There you
thing.
go. Yeah.
If we get bored,
Does McDonald's?
hey guys, if we can't think of
Well,
anything this week, go throw
McDonald-
cheese on a chicken sandwich.
McDonald's is also the place that throws cheese on a fish sandwich.
True.
The fish fillet.
Tartar sauce and cheese is good.
I've never done it before. My mom gets it all the time, and I'm always just like,
You don't like the fish fillet?
No.
The former president called it the fish delight. That was weird. A few years ago, a long time ago now.
I don't remember that.
Sir, I hear you love McDonald's. What did you get at McDonald's? I get the fish delight. I'm like,
What is that?
that's not a thing. That's not the sandwich.
My grandpa once went to McDonald's and ordered a large Mac.
No, he didn't. That's a lie. You're making that up right now. And if he did, I want to shake his hand.
What a humongous Mick. Like, what is, I mean, did they, like, were they confused?
Shut
like,
it down.
yeah.
Caleb broke the podcast.
did they serve it to him in a drink cup? Like,
I was young, so I don't remember the cashier's reaction, but I do remember laughing when he ordered it.
I think that's so funny. A large Mac. It's Little Mac all grown up.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
bring
yeah.
it to video
Yeah.
games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to
Okay.
order a person. The large Mac.
You'll find him riding a bicycle onto the pier. Oh, gosh.
In a pink jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Don't forget to write down the code. That's the order code. For large Mac. Sir, we need your code.
Oh.
What are you talking about? Sir, it's the code in the video game. Gun me down with Mayo.
We've lost Jason. It's all over. It's
Yep.
done. Oh, gosh.
Who knew McDonald's was so funny? Sorry. I apologize.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, we're trying to transition into video games here with Large Mac running off his Big Mac on the pier.
Don't do that again to me, Caleb. Don't.
I don't think it was that fun.
I don't know. I don't
It
know
wasn't
why.
supposed to be. but
I
just
don't know.
sometimes
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
sorry. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah, what did everybody play this week? Wow.
Crickets.
Crickets. I finished it. Oh, geez. Okay. That bad, huh? Yeah. Transition forward. I finished It Takes Two.
Nice.
And I say I finished. My daughter and I finished It Takes Two. That game is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's some cheesiness at the end,
Yeah.
but that game is great. That is.
The ending to me was like I won't spoil anything because I know Jason hasn't played it, but it was a please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck this up.
Yes, exactly.
And they didn't. So I was okay
yeah,
with it. It wasn't like it was the most heartfelt thing or like the most.
They almost fucked it up.
But yeah.
They almost
Yeah.
fucked it up bad.
But they didn't. I was just hoping that the ending, the story ending, would be okay, and it was definitely okay.
Yeah, it was perfectly acceptable, and man, that game's good up and down. Wow, like I'm genuinely impressed at how great that game is. Like, so you'll be taking it home tonight,
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
and we'll start whenever you're ready.
Sounds good.
And I will play as May. Because I'll play as the wife, and you will play as Cody, as my daughter.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, she does it even better. She's because we're sitting here playing, and because the wife is British, and she's constantly saying, "Cody, help me, Cody," and yeah, so she'll just be sitting there as we're playing, just talking about Cody. Yeah. So I think for me it's gonna hold another one of those special spots just because my daughter and I played it together, so it'll automatically get this little
Yeah.
bit of a bump too.
Yeah.
So check me on that when we're talking game of the year. But as of right now,
well, you know.
it as of now, it's probably decently high for you and
Yeah.
very high for me as well. So
Yeah. And I mean, I don't, I still feel very strongly about that game. I didn't play with somebody I'm related to. So.
yeah, well, you played with a friend. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like you played with a rando.
It's not like it's meant to play with a stranger either, though. So like,
no.
yeah, it's not Journey. You're not popping in and getting like random people in your game.
Right. It's meant
It's
to play with
meant to play with somebody that you know,
Exactly,
yeah.
Mhm. So,
What was your hour count?
I'd say probably about 9 to 10.
Oh, not too bad. Yours?
We did
'Cause of the
we got
platinum?
all of the trophies, and it was about 11 total.
We can do that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and now that I know everything too about where to go,
Oh yeah.
I'll let you think about a puzzle for 30 seconds and we'll move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There were a
Sure.
couple that stumped us for a couple of minutes, like the dinosaur train track part. You know what I'm talking about? Like we struggled with that a little bit. Like one person's like driving the dinosaur crane thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we that and we had a lot of trouble with the paddle boat where each of you are kind of controlling one side because we just our minds were not melding on that
It's
one
just
at
interesting.
all.
Like ours were two different spots
Okay.
completely. Like it was ours was the snow level. There was a section where with that you needed to magnetize yourself together at the same time across two platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Just couldn't think of it. Did not even think of it at all. I had to ultimately just look it up because
We got that one immediately, like instantly.
yeah, like we could not figure that one out. And then there was another one. Oh, it was in the tree with the sap stuff. Like there was something above us that we didn't even see about weighing it down, and it took me so long to figure it out. I was just like, I was like embarrassed I couldn't figure it
Yeah.
out. But yeah,
But that'll be cool playing it from the other perspective too, because there were a couple of times where I'm like, I played as May, and there were a couple of times where I was like, I kind of wish I had Cody's thing right now.
There were times I was like, I wish I had May's thing right now because I was like, that looks like a fun thing to do. So
Yeah.
it will be kind of cool to play it from a different perspective. So.
Yeah, I'll be curious to hear your thoughts playing it a second time.
Yeah. So, all right. I guess I have another game behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought one of those one-up arcade things.
We need to like.
I don't think we can kind of see it very. I mean,
maybe we need to put something under it and prop it. How heavy is it?
It's not very heavy at all.
Okay, so maybe we get like a stand or something that we can.
I mean, it's
throw
on
it
a stand, but it's on like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It needs to be a little bit higher so that it
little
shows
bit
up right
higher.
behind you.
Yeah, so I have the X-Men versus Street Fighter cabinet, which has Marvel versus Capcom, and then two other X-Men games: X-Men
Children of the Atom.
Children of the Atom, and X-Men Rise of Apocalypse.
Mutant Apocalypse.
Mutant Apocalypse. One of those is a fighting game, and the other one is the insanely hard arcade game that was single player that is permadeath. Not permadeath, but it's a roguelike that you just die. If you can't, there's no like save point. Like you have to make it all the way through the level or that's it. And that's nothing. It's so hard. Yeah, like it's insanely hard. That's just a quarter eater. So I wish there was cheats for it. That would be nice.
I played an arcade game too.
Oh,
this
yeah?
week. So you guys know that the barcade here is closing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I did not know that. That sucks.
Yeah, April 30th is their last day,
Mm-hmm.
which sucks.
Citing. I mean, are they citing the pandemic or?
It has to be, right? Like, who goes to an arcade when there's a risk of picking up stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks.
But we went there one last time and did 4-player Simpsons game and just played through the whole thing.
There you go.
And it was a lot of fun.
When is it closing?
April 30th.
So Friday.
I think, yeah.
Man,
I know, right?
what are the hours?
It's like 4. They open at 4. I
4
know that.
p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're open till like 2 a.m. or something.
So it's definitely a nighttime thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I could go late one night.
Yeah. Just go and.
Just go and play around with stuff for one last
Do
time.
you know what games are in there on top of your head after?
What are you looking for something specific?
No.
They
Oh,
do have
Simpsons
they have Simpsons game. They have the 4-player X-Men game.
Okay.
What else would you be interested in?
They have the G.I. Joe game.
I don't know if I remember that.
It was
actually.
insanely hard and terrible.
They have NBA Jam.
NBA
They have
Jam.
Oh, there you
Blitz.
go.
They have the Mortal Kombat, right? They have a couple Mortal Kombats.
Do they have Mortal Kombat? I
I
don't
thought
think
they
they have
had-
Mortal Kombat.
maybe they don't. Maybe
they have
they-
Street Fighter. I guess
They
Street
could have
Fighter-
at one point. and
Maybe
got
they
rid of
did.
it.
That could be. Maybe it just
Yeah.
like went dead on them or something.
There's
Revolution
a lot of
X.
stuff in there.
They have a time crisis.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if they would have had a time crisis, we might have just been there.
Yeah, I think you probably
Time Crisis would be.
figured it out.
It would
but,
have a foot pedal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have anything that's like that.
Yeah, I might go in there and check it out. That sucks.
Yeah, the one in Peoria is staying open. So
Are they co-owned?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same company. So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
not
8-bit
like selling
arcade.
any of these machines or anything like that. They're keeping everything in rotation, but only through their one one barcade. So
Yeah.
if we ever feel like, we're really missing it, we could always make a road trip.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
if they're gonna have a really premium collection of stuff over there.
Yeah, I think the other thing was it sounded like had some issues with their lease or something even too. So
Yeah.
maybe it might make a comeback
Oh,
at some point.
Okay, compounding issues then.
Yeah. So because it sounded like they were trying to find a new location, couldn't find one. I could see with some, younger people moving to town more recently here too. I think we could maybe see a comeback.
Yeah. Well, and it could also be one of those things like, in the mall with that one store that always says they're going out of business but never does. Like maybe they drummed up enough business by saying they're going out that I don't know.
You
We'll
take
see.
it back. The Mole Hole is a fantastic place.
For us, it was always the leather store.
The leather
The
store.
leather store, like for 15 years, was going out of business.
Come for the wallet, stay for the bondage.
Right. Something like that. So I guess, I guess either way, we got an arcade thing back here now. I don't even know. I guess that starts my collection. We'll see where this
Yeah.
ends up. I'm looking at
Hopefully,
a
it
couple.
opens up the floodgates for them,
Right,
and we have like
yeah.
8 machines back
And
here.
then we don't
before
even have to
know
worry about the barcade because
Right.
Logan just has them all.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Logan opened one.
I'm looking into a couple of others. I'm looking into a pinball machine right now.
I'm not so into pinball.
I would
but
like a pinball machine. Like I liked pinball. I don't know why I was.
I guess it depends on what franchise or license or whatever's
Right.
on
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of. And then and I'm looking at like one of the original Breakout arcade games right now. Do you know what Breakout is?
Like the Atari Breakout.
Yeah, Atari
Yeah.
Breakout. Yeah, so it's just the like the multicolored things at the top, and the ball keeps going back and forth. So yeah, I'm looking at one of those.
Do you have a fondness for that, or you just want one?
It just happens to be available, and maybe can get it at a pretty decent price. So
Okay.
and it's an original, so there's that whole collectability thing.
That was
to
an
it, too.
early arcade game too.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So
Keep us posted.
I know, right?
yeah,
It might completely fall through, and because I have yet to get a price back. So
we're gonna have to pay admission to come do the podcast from now on.
What type of chicken sandwich gets me admitted? It won't be dollars. It'll have to be.
yeah.
Yeah, I get paid in chicken sandwiches. It's okay.
Yeah.
So did you guys have no video game things
Yeah,
this week? Okay, when
I have
I
a
said it,
few.
I was
I
like,
have a few.
I just was like, got crickets. I was like, oh, jeez.
It was just funny because nobody said anything at the beginning. But
Well, I mean, that was profound chicken sandwich talk.
okay, so I have a little bit of a story behind this one.
Do it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
That's why we're here.
so in this Facebook group that I'm an admin of, which you
Mhm.
guys belong to,
Yes.
we have at the end of last year, we were kind of debriefing about the year, and deciding what could we do to make our group better. And one of the things that I brought up was I feel like we don't ever in that group talk about actual video games.
No.
We always talk about news, or we talk about delays, or we talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's never actually about games.
As someone who spends no time on Facebook and as a member of that group, I almost see it as like a news curation.
Yeah.
It's not actually bad at it either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not the goal, and I understand that.
Yeah. So one suggestion or one idea that came out of that was that we do a Game of the Month club. So we've been doing that this whole year. We started in January with Immortals Phoenix Rising. We did Hitman. We did Bowser's Fury. And then this one was It Takes Two.
Mhm.
So at this point, I am 4 for 4 on 100% completing all
Oh,
of our
wow.
Game Club games. So I'm looking at the... Yeah, I know, right?
Did you know he completed Immortals?
Yes.
I had forgotten that, I think. How many hours
That
did that take?
was a lot, like 60. It was a lot.
God, I don't know if we talked about that on recording. I apologize.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
did.
remember
I
that.
think.
I don't
Did we?
remember.
Well, I think you just said it maybe would have cracked your top 10 because
Yeah.
we did it after Game of the Year. Because
Yeah.
you started playing it more after that.
Yeah, I just don't remember the completion aspect of that. Wow. Okay.
So I'm looking at the release list for April just to try to figure out what we're going to pick for our next Game Club game for May.
And this is, help me understand, this is a game that was launched at any time.
Anytime the month prior. So May's Game Club
okay.
game will
May's
have
Game
to
Club.
be
So
in
it
April.
does have to be an April release.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I saw that Outriders actually came out on the 1st. So, and I know that one of the people in that group, huge Destiny guy, I'm like, he's probably going to want to do Outriders because this is a loot game. This is right in his wheelhouse. He's going to want to do it. So I started playing that. Looked at the achievement guide or the trophy guide, and I'm like, this actually seems kind of doable. It was like 40 hours or something like that. But it's not really my type of game, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, we'll see if I get through with this or not. So I'm playing this game. Literally while I'm playing this game, in the first hour, my phone starts exploding with messages from that group. And there's, hey guys, have you seen this trailer for Returnal? Hey guys, have you seen the early previews for Returnal? Returnal looks amazing. Guys, look at this. Look at Returnal. Look. And I'm like, okay, so our Game Club game's going to be Returnal. So I can stop playing Outriders, I guess.
When Returnal comes out this week?
It's on the 30th.
Okay.
So it's technically April, which is funny because our two options were really a game that came out on the 1st and a game that came out on the 30th.
I have not watched any of the stuff for Returnal.
I haven't either, purposely.
But I am
now.
hearing that a lot of the reviewers who've gotten a hold of like review copies and things like that, I think the reviews are embargoed, but they are very high on this game. Very high.
Yeah. And I think I don't know how much more Outriders I'm going to play because it seems okay, but like I think there are probably a lot better things I could spend my time on right now. So I kind of put that aside and started playing Assassin's Creed again.
Fair.
So I am going to finish Assassin's Creed at some point during this year. I'm going to do it.
I have the same guarantee, but not within this year. I will finish it someday. I will if it takes me 4 years.
I know.
You're not gonna max it out, but you
No,
will finish the story.
But I'll finish the story.
am
Much like I couldn't max out The Witcher, but I finished it.
65 hours into that game now, and I feel like I have a long way to go.
50% probably.
Yeah, it is meaty. But we've talked about that game a ton. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me. That was my weekend game.
I concur about Outriders. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's totally fine.
it seems fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But there are going to be games that are more special, more unique, not retreads in the way that Outriders is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing about Outriders. Like, if you like those kind of games, it is another one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And it plays fine, right? It plays fine. It's just got, some weaknesses that are a little hard to justify if you're on a PS5 or a PC. But it's the perfect Game Pass game.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
Eventually, Logan, I'm sure you just check it out just to educate. And
It's downloaded. I just haven't
Right.
pressed start.
how easy. It's
Yeah.
on Game Pass. Your
Mhm.
Series X
Yeah.
is right there. Like, you got no excuse to at least play it for an hour. You
Mhm.
know?
And also the demo, like I don't have a Xbox, so I can't do the Game Pass version. But the demo is the first mission of the game, and then your progress carries over into the main game after that. So that's all I've been playing is just the demo. I haven't even
Yeah, why pay for it?
right.
Especially if you don't have Game
Especially if you're not going to play it in earnest or think that you're going to finish it.
Right. So maybe once that game is dirt cheap, I have a feeling that game will be dirt cheap pretty quickly.
Pass. Yeah, with it being a Game Pass game, I think that's been happening a lot.
Does that
is
happen
full-
on other platforms?
on full retail releases? Well, I think the thing is a lot. It depends on the other platform. I mean, you look right now too at the Sony platform. I mean, you go to buy Resident Evil 8 right now, and it's $60 on Xbox and $70 on PlayStation. Same game. Yep.
I just pre-ordered it for $60.
On PlayStation?
Yeah.
I just looked at it on Amazon at $70.
That might just be an Amazon thing because Best Buy was definitely $60. Or maybe Best Buy is giving a discount. I don't know.
They might be. I mean,
Oh, there's two versions. Are you sure you weren't looking at like the deluxe version or whatever?
I'll double check.
Yeah.
That's real quick, since we brought up Resident Evil, just quickly, Caleb, what's the demo cycle? Am I in the Xbox window?
I don't even know.
Am I on the
It's-
Xbox weekend?
I don't know.
I have missed it probably. I don't really care at this point.
Right, it's just
I'm more
part of the
like
game,
you.
so-
Yeah.
It is a deluxe edition.
Okay.
Sorry.
I played Maiden, and I think that was enough for
Yeah.
me.
And the difference for me there is like
Sold.
Maiden's not actually part of the game. It was like a technical piece, right?
That's right. And you're not technically Ethan, right?
Right.
You're a different character.
Yeah,
so-
you're unnamed, whatever. So like I don't have any desire to really play a demo that I'm just gonna have replay again in a couple of weeks. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling like I'm missing things
Yep.
other than making sure that I get a physical copy of that. I do need to do that.
yeah,
Okay.
Do you know what the deluxe edition of Resident Evil 8 comes with?
Tomatoes and lettuce and mayonnaise, or
It should.
can I make a guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna guess it comes with a mini art book and a soundtrack on a CD, and that's it.
that sounds standard fare. That's not a bad guess.
The deluxe edition includes the trauma pack with
it's like DLC.
I don't know. I would assume this is probably just like add-ons based on what
in-game.
this is. Safe room music. So I bet when you walk into the safe room, you probably get the original RE safe music instead of the safe music from this game.
Excuse me.
Mr. Everywhere. That's what it says. I don't know. Found footage. The RE7 filter. Max difficulty. Save device. Albert 01 Chris. I don't even know why it's Albert 01 Chris.
That's some sort of Redfield Wesker.
I don't
thing
know.
There.
And the tragedy of Ethan Winters. That is what is written down here. None of it makes any sense when I read it.
The difficulty thing, if it's the same way that 7 was, you can unlock that. You just have to beat the game once and it unlocks. That just unlocks it from the beginning. So that's
probably
probably
look it
what
up somewhere else because that's just the product description on Amazon, and that doesn't really do us any good. Let me try a different.
But all in-game stuff. That's interesting.
That's the deluxe edition, Logan.
Yeah, that's what I just pulled up the deluxe edition, the trauma pack.
I'm gonna guess the trauma pack is like you start the game with a first aid spray and a green herb or something like that.
The collector's edition came with a Chris figure and a box, but it's sold out everywhere. It's $220.
Yeah, I'm collector's edition guy here, but I'm a little bit. That seems a little much for me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at the deluxe edition on Series X here.
Yeah, which is following in-game items: Mr. Everywhere, Safe Room Music, Found Footage, RE7 filter, Save Device, Albert 01 Chris. I don't even know what that means.
Albert 01 Chris. Interesting.
It's a gun. It's a gun.
Oh, okay.
What kind of gun? Any idea? Are we talking Magnum?
Probably an alternate handgun, I'm going to guess.
It just looks like a weird-ass looking handgun.
Yeah.
Then
That's
the save device.
Music. What jerks.
The Tragedy of Ethan Winters looks like it's just like a quick little short movie, and that'll probably be on YouTube in 5 minutes.
It's like a clip.
Yeah, and then the save device is a different save device alternative other than the typewriter. It's
like an in-game device.
Yeah. So all of this is digital content.
So like a Walkman or what are we talking about?
It's a like a tape recorder. So like
that's the 7 tape recorder then. Because isn't it? There wasn't typewriters in 7. It was the tape recorders, right?
Yeah, it was tape recorders.
Like with the rec
that's
click,
right.
click.
Yeah. And the Mr. Everywhere is just the bobblehead thing collectible.
Thank you for finding this picture. That's what I was trying to find.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where it was.
How good is the save room music?
I mean, it's great.
I understand if you're not like me, but like that music, like if I could, I don't know, if I could have a music that would come like after a panic attack.
Well, it's what happened when you're running around like crazy trying to avoid a
It's
zombie.
just something about that music, and it's perfect.
I know the feeling. Dark Souls 2, the Majula music, when you go back to like the hub town, that music, whenever you hear that, it's just like
relief.
Oh God, thank God I'm here.
Yeah. I know what it sounds like. I'll know what it sounds like forever. And the different versions too, like the RE1, the little like muted one, but then there's the RE2 version with the bells, because that was like, there's a town with a clock tower, so like they had it, just like thematically always sounded great. So I wonder
that would be my hesitation about installing something like that is I don't want to miss out on the new
save music,
remix
right?
of it. You know?
Like you would hope it's a toggle.
Yeah.
If I walk in there and it's effing silent, though,
Ooh.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be happy with my choice.
I bet you can buy this.
Oh, sure. I guess I could digitally buy.
I bet
like,
you can. I'll bet
be
you
in
can
a
buy it
store
for $5 or something like that.
Okay. All right.
There's no way they're not gonna
Yeah.
nickel and dime people on stuff. If
I can't afford my chicken sandwich admittance next
Okay.
week because
All right.
I had
Okay.
to buy the
you gotta
Resident
buy
Evil
the RE.
save
I
music.
mean, it is only $10 more for this to buy the
Yeah.
deluxe edition, but then the artwork on the case is different. I don't know. That's just throwing everything off.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that. Actually, I don't like the deluxe edition.
I don't like
case.
the artwork. No, it's not
Yeah.
good.
I
Compared
never
to the
liked
regular
that.
one.
I want my cases to be
I
the
want
same.
Yeah, I want my. I went and bought a Halo 4 game because I had the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
And because I needed the artwork.
It's like getting a greatest hits or whatever. It's like no. I want the plain one.
I do have a Hitman up there that I think is some sort of. I think my Hitman one is.
And at some point, I traded
not
you
standard.
my Persona Steelbook
I know.
so that I
yeah,
could just have a regular Persona version.
I don't even know what the Persona one looks like. That case, I'll have to look at it.
The
I'd have
regular
to go back.
Persona
Yeah.
case? I can't picture it either. I can picture
'Cause you have a
Steelbook.
Steelbook too,
Oh
right?
no, yeah, I know what it looks like. Yeah, no, I can picture it. It's most of the characters, not all.
Hmm.
It's prominently Joker, and Morgana mostly, and a little
That
bit of
makes sense.
Ryuji, and then the characters get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Gosh.
Anything else new?
That's it for me.
I played a new game.
Yeah.
I took notes.
Oh, okay. Was it an Xbox game on a PlayStation?
Yes. Well, no.
Or sorry,
PlayStation
the
game.
reverse of that.
It
I
was
said
the
it the wrong way.
reverse of
Reverse
that.
game on or a PlayStation
You
game on an
are
Xbox.
correct.
Everybody's super hyped about this thing. Are you super hyped about this thing?
Well, I think that it depends on who you are, but as a person that owns both consoles, and having it be free, well, not free, coming with a Game Pass subscription, that's pretty exciting. So I played The Show, MLB The Show 20, which for everyone knows now, it's a Sony game that is available on the Xbox platform.
I'm just going
Which
to
is
turn this on just because
crazy.
I want to see the Sony logo turn on here because I haven't seen
It's
it yet.
wild. So I played the MLB The Show 21 quite a bit this week. The servers were mostly down, so I wasn't able to play it online. It does have crossplay, I found out.
Oh, good.
So I was able to add a friend on a PS5,
Interesting.
add them in-game to a friends list.
Sony Interactive Entertainment presents.
On an
wow,
Xbox.
that is wild.
Yeah, no, and then here it comes more. It's the
And
studio
more
specifically.
PlayStation Studio logo.
Whoa! You get the triangle, circle, square.
Get all of it, right?
Oh man!
San Diego Studio, which is owned by Sony.
Yeah.
Like I'm on an Xbox. This doesn't make any sense.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I was really excited because I didn't have to gameplay this year's or buy it, and I really liked last year's a lot.
I have heard this game referred to as the greatest sports game ever made.
Really?
Yeah, which is like people are hyped about this thing. Like, is it like should I like I don't play sports games normally. Should I actually play this one?
Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm like shocked. I don't care who said that, but it is certainly not
Okay.
the best sports game ever made.
Okay. I'm
Are
glad that
people
you
just
brought
excited
me
that they
back
got a
down
baseball
to
game on
maybe.
Xbox again?
Maybe.
It's been 10 years.
For people that who have made the choice to not grab a PlayStation because they want to play the show, and have been Xbox gamers, I can see how this is exciting. But this year's version of the show is certainly not the best sports game ever.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Thank
mean,
you for
that-
bringing me
that
back down to
argument-
earth on that one.
Well, that's a long conversation.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't care who wrote it or who said it or whatever, but that's such a long conversation because, I mean, you have to go all the way back to like Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES. Like that maybe is the first great sports game ever made, and probably could stand today as still maybe one of the best sports games ever. And also, if you include boxing, we were talking about our guy Little Mac, Big Mac, order the large Mac. So Punch-Out could even be one of those, and then on up. Like, then you probably got to throw in whether or not you're talking about simulation games versus arcade games. If you're including arcade, like, can be a Jam. Like, this is a long conversation, and it's not as groundbreaking as any of those. Like, I would even say, like, the first show is probably has to be considered because it was such a big deal when it launched.
If you take out the, like, historical significance or the impact or whatever for it, like, if you evaluate the game in the time it was made, are you still saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a updated version of last year's game.
Okay.
Especially graphically, it does not look any better than the PS4 Pro game from last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It still looks dang good. Runs 4K 60. Doesn't run 4K 120. It still looks awesome. But we've talked about 2K a lot this year, NBA 2K, and it does not make the graphical leap that does.
Okay.
So if you put the PS5 version and the Series X version next to the PS4 Pro version, you're not going to notice a difference besides frame rate. The character models and the textures probably are last year's for the most part. So that's something that 2K did, for these new systems. The animations I have a problem with a little bit because there's still a lot of the old canned animations. Like, if you have a hitter that doesn't have, well, first of all, if they're not popular enough for them to create like a signature animation for them after a base hit, it's the same canned animation for everyone. And we're getting into like an uncanny valley here thing. Because the fidelity is so high and it looks so good that...
Well, stop hitting so many dingers.
I actually haven't hit a single home run. That's the other difference in this year's edition. Hitting is a little bit different. Pitching's a little bit different, but by and large, it is the same game. It's a little bit harder. It's got tons of tutorials for the new audience, I think, in mind. But I think that's the most disappointing thing for me is that it didn't make a technical leap. And we've already seen 2K do that. And that's pretty much it. The stadium creator is like a new feature, and you can even build the city around the stadium, which is kind of neat.
That is kind of cool. Like you can build a ballpark
Build
village.
a ballpark. Yep. Build concessions, build the parking lot, build the building, like the hotels around it.
Ooh, like SimCity now.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Can you build an empty stadium?
Yeah. You can do whatever you want. But that's the only new thing. Otherwise, it's last year's game for the most part. Just a few, like, I don't know. I'm looking for, it really is discouraging for me to like see that same animation off of every single player. Man,
maybe make 3 of them and rotate them or something.
And maybe those are in there, maybe, but I'm seeing just like the same like if a ball goes this way, the ball goes that way, or if a guy connects a home run, like the way they animate and sit down the bat is the same across multiple players. And I really hope that because the show has always been really good at that stuff as it builds, and now this one is like, here it is on the new systems, here it is on Game Pass for the new audience, and that's kind of was enough, I think, for them this year. It seems like ambition was, and maybe it was development through, maybe it was the COVID stuff. I don't know. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but also it's still the best baseball game on the market. Clearly,
only baseball game on the market.
No,
really?
there's RBI baseball.
Yeah, but that's like very arcadey, very simmy, and not.
No, I think you're thinking of Super Mega Baseball.
Oh, really?
Because there's RBI baseball, which is the other like simulation.
Yeah, but
one.
isn't it still? It's still not like.
It's not as simulation.
It's okay. So there's like on the scale of like sim to real to arcade, it's still on the sim side.
All right. Yeah.
So
I guess I just look at the character models and yes, I Super Mega Baseball is like the Blitz version, and not even that because they don't even have real teams in there, do they?
No.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I think it's worth looking at, especially if you have Game Pass and you're excited. But no, it's certainly not the best base. It's not. It may not even be the best baseball game ever made.
Okay.
You know, like it's there's a long legacy of like EA Sports stuff in the '90s that was very good.
I was gonna say, what is the best baseball game ever made?
Probably like Triple Play '99.
Yeah.
Really, if you think about leaps ahead of where we were, like because we were when we went from 16-bit to 32-bit, and it was like 3 years into the cycle for Triple Play, they packed a ton into that PlayStation game, like all-star modes, home run derby, hitting contests, create a player. There was even some like minor league stuff in there, like where you could do farm system things, and those are all standard now. But that was a big deal. Like, oh, I can call a guy up. In the 32-bit era, that was a big deal.
Oh yeah, I mean you think about what RBI baseball, like RBI baseball '94. Like that's my baseball game in my head or whatever, and that game, I mean, it still is. I mean, it had nothing. Like it was bare bones as it could be. Like if a popular player came up, they would hit it harder. That is basically about it. Yeah. So Triple Play, big deal. What would be your favorite one though? Not best, but what would be your favorite baseball game?
Backyard baseball.
I'll say mine was MVP Baseball 06.
I don't have any fondness for any baseball game.
It's probably that, Logan. I thought those MVPs were really good when they changed. EA Sports changed to MVP. It's probably that. Also, I really like the NES games, like Little League World Series. I thought that was really. I don't know if you ever played that.
I don't think I did. On the NES, yeah.
Yeah, that was also really good. So yeah, I would almost put like the Bigs in there a little bit. I know that's
the
not
Bigs
Sim,
is
but
NBA
the
Jam.
Bigs is pretty good.
Bigs
is pretty good.
Is that the one where like they could like their bones would snap and then you could choose to keep them in the game and with a penalty?
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah,
because like you could hit, but you hit it off the shortstop's face.
Yeah,
and it was just
It's like, well, this guy's gonna be 75% slower, but he can stay in, or you can take him out and replace him. So stuff like that.
I oddly enough have a sealed copy of the Bigs.
Really?
I don't know why. I own weird stuff sometimes. I have a sealed copy of the Bigs and a sealed copy of Slugfest 03 because they're Cardinals players. So
Gotcha.
I got them sealed because the Slugfest 03 is Jim Edmonds and the Bigs was Albert Pujols. So
the other one I wanted to point out was on World Series Baseball. Sorry, what's the name of it? For Sega, it was a Sega sports game for the Genesis, but also really good. The fidelity was pretty high for that. Here you go, Caleb. The fidelity was actually pretty high for a 16-bit game.
I remember playing a lot of World Series Baseball on my Game Gear, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
There was what did they call it? It was a Sport and something package, and it came with, I think it came with Streets of Rage 1 and World Series Baseball on the Game Gear. I don't know what that was. What package I bought or whatever. God, I wish I still had my Game Gear. That thing. Did you ever have one?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, you still own it.
Actually, that's one of the
original.
few systems I've actually held on to for whatever reason.
That thing would go through batteries.
Dude, 6 AA's.
6 AA's, and you got 2 hours if you were lucky.
Jeez.
It would crush them.
Yeah, I would sit at home with my AC adapter for the most part and play that game or play it.
I have literally never played a Game Gear.
We got to fix that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it next week.
It's oddly enough, it's like holding the Wii U controller.
Oh, okay.
The gamepad.
Yeah, that's good.
But probably heavier
description.
with all those batteries in it.
Yeah,
It
you
might
throw
be a little heavier.
Yeah, throw 6 AA's in there and chipsets from 1994 and you're about there.
Yeah.
So, any other games?
No, that was it for me. I didn't play anything else besides the show, and that may be it for a while until something else launches. To be honest,
we got Returnal this week, maybe, and then 2
when
weeks.
Does that launch?
Friday.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then
I will definitely play Returnal.
I'll play it. I just don't know how quick I'll play it.
We got Returnal and Resident Evil coming up
Pretty
close
fast.
to each other here. So
Is the Metacritic up on Returnal?
no, not yet.
No, my guess is it'll probably be out early this week.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys knew when the embargo was up.
I don't.
Okay.
Usually, OpenCritic usually lists when the embargo is up. I'll check that real quick.
Is that it for games?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I played this week. Other than just I think I'm right at the end of Genesis Noir. Like I just got
okay.
all I need to do is like the big gunshot thing. The timeline is officially done. I have like I haven't clicked the last buttons on there. So my guess is I have one last thing to go. You got your open critic?
Yeah,
there?
the Returnal embargo ends on April 29th at 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. here.
So we'll get it Thursday before it
Thursday
releases
early morning.
Interesting.
Based on what we're seeing, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like they've allowed people critics and the media to at least say have some thoughts.
My only worry is that there is some roguelike elements in there apparently.
Oh.
I'm a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, I read the word Hades today.
Yeah.
Oh. That could be good or bad.
I hope it's light, and I hope it's like carryover
stuff. The point of the game is that you're constantly dying over and over again. So I get that. I could
see how it works.
see this game depending on how it scores. Like, a lot of games anymore have been getting that. Hey, here, this game is now $40 after 2 weeks if you kind of pay attention enough. So maybe it'll get one of those.
I saw. Speaking of games that dropped to $40,
Balin.
Do you guys follow Wario64 on Twitter? Did you see his?
Yeah, he was pretty funny about it.
So Wario64 always posts deals on Twitter, and he says Balan Wonderworld is $40 at Walmart.com. I am not posting a link so that no one accidentally buys it.
But then he posted there was a follow up to that. Sure. That said it was like that there were it was moving fast and there are a few copies left.
No way. That game's gonna be less than $20 before the end of July. I'm calling it. It's gonna be $20 by the end of July.
Okay.
You know what I hear when I hear this conversation? Because of kind of what we have been doing on the side lately, or just kind of I know, his arcade cabinet, me and my old gaming buying habits this week. It makes me wonder, is this game going to be valuable someday? How many did they make?
Because I think they made way too many copies.
That's my question. Is if it's all of a sudden going to be this boutique-y thing.
Yeah.
Or if there will be 1 million copies unsold.
I think it's that. I think it's the 1 million copies way.
It's the so on Walmart's site it says don't miss out. This item is selling fast. For Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah, no, they are lying.
I'm fully aware, but I just thought it was funny that it said that.
That leather store is going out of business.
Yes, it is. You can get a Halo 5
more chaps, maybe. They could have possibly prevented that. I don't know.
You get Halo 5 with a physical copy of it for $10. Buy it and keep it sealed.
Well, I don't know. I spent like $500 on that game.
Yeah, same with me. It's like I spent $200 to get a statue of a game that I don't really care that much about.
There is.
Yeah, he's up there.
Lock, Spartan, Lock and Chief.
Well, I think it's time to move on to TV for the week. But maybe we should transition into TV. And maybe let's do a video game thing that was maybe on a TV.
I think I know where you're going with this. And I also watched this.
And I don't know. Did you not?
No.
Wait a minute.
Think so. Did I?
Did you?
Maybe I did and forgot. What the hell is he talking about, Caleb?
Wait, seriously. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
You of all people.
Oh. No. Yes. I think I follow, but it's not a TV show.
Well, but it's on. I don't know.
That's why I was.
It's an awkward transition.
That's what. Oh, is that what's happening?
We're having a very awkward transition.
We are.
Now. This awkward transition brought to you by Mortal Kombat on HBO Max.
Yeah. Like I just feel like at this point the streaming services are just whatever they are. Like it's TV.
Sorry, I was thrown off. I was thinking there was a TV show thing that happened this week with video games. What was it?
No.
Yeah, you didn't see that the Halo TV show just launched?
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm freaking out over here.
Live on Peacock.
Yeah. Not only did I miss it, apparently it's my favorite thing ever, and I don't know what he's talking about. Sorry, I was just thinking
Mike
about the
Tyson
movie.
literally just started punching out people on Peacock. It
Yeah,
was
you didn't see
wild.
that?
I'm looking for large Mac.
Mhm.
I'm looking for large Mac.
You didn't see that prize fighter adaptation?
It was on Paramount Plus.
That would be
What else would be
take
like
my
right in-
money.
Yeah.
Take my money, bro. If they remade Prize Fighter into like a miniseries, oh my god, oh dude, love it. You should be a producer, Caleb.
I could do that.
Mr. Hollywood. It's a great idea.
Okay. Well, non-TV, but this goes into watching things along with video games. How bad was my sequitur? What did we think about the Mortal Kombat movie?
You guys first.
Did you watch Mortal Kombat?
I did. I watched it.
You watched it.
Yeah. Did you guys
Okay.
both watch? Did we all watch?
Did you
this?
watch Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Okay.
We've all seen Mortal Kombat.
Okay. All right. Jason,
boy.
you first.
need-
You are the super fan, so you need to go first.
Maybe this deserves a compliment sandwich.
It's not a bad idea.
So Jason, you go first to compliment.
It's Mortal Kombat. It was called Mortal Kombat. It had
Okay.
Scorpion.
No, before anybody
I
gets
don't
the
even
wrong
know if
idea.
it really had Scorpion at this point.
I mean, he was there,
okay,
sort of.
so this movie's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's
Okay, yeah.
It is not a great movie.
No.
There were plenty of times when I was watching this movie and went, "Oh, awesome!" or "Oh, that guy's in this." There were plenty of times when I smiled, or like was completely grossed out by a fatality.
Mhm.
It was successful in some regards. It was not a total failure. So I want to just
It's not a total failure.
yeah.
The fight scenes were good.
It was well choreographed.
Some scenes are better than others, but
Yes,
You're
agree.
right.
But
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
But I would say a movie that relied 50% or more on fighting. It did. I mean, it did the job. I guess. I mean, you were going to have some ups and downs if greater than 50% of your movie is literally punching and kicking.
I have a very complicated relationship with all things Mortal Kombat because we have dug down, we went through the list, and it is clearly my favorite video game franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know it until we went through that list, though. It's something I can't believe I had never thought of.
Mm.
And so if the three of us out of the three of us, and maybe you're like this with Kingdom Hearts, I don't know, but I am probably going to be the hardest on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because of what it means to me.
Yeah, that's there.
True.
There is definitely that. Like, you're harder on things that you love. You're not always accepting.
I'm not going to go super fanboy and say like every cast member should be assassinated for this abomination. It's not an abomination.
Was it an Annihilation?
But well, it's about.
This is better
about
than
there.
Annihilation.
Okay, it is. It is.
Come on,
It
no.
is. It is
It's
better
on
than
par.
Annihilation. It is better than Annihilation, but I do struggle with parts of this thing, and I think parts of it genuinely are bad.
It's paced pretty poorly.
It's paced poorly. It's edited poorly.
My cat decided
Thank
to
you.
join the
Thank
mix.
you.
We needed
this.
some levity.
I need this. I need some help. Thank you. You can tell I need some help, can't you? I need this. I need help. What did you think about it? Because I could talk about this for hours, but I'm going to try to be concise.
The thing I come back to are the moments that just made me cringe.
Yeah.
And those moments typically were where a cast member said something that the announcer would say.
Sure.
Like,
Those made you laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's different ways to that may hit people.
Like, I didn't if it was taking itself a little less seriously and they started doing that, I would have said,
Make sure the cat doesn't jump on our board, please. Okay.
yeah. If it was going a little more over the top ridiculous and they did that, I would say yes, but it was trying to be a little more serious than what it was. And that's why I was like, oh, this is bad. Like when Kano ripped out that lizard's heart and was like, Kano wins fatality.
You know who that was?
Well, it was Reptile,
Oh, I
but
mean, yeah.
like I just was, I was more, but I was more like, why did
Not
he say
very clear that it's reptile, by the
right,
way.
Yeah. Cat, what are you doing?
Please don't eat our equipment.
No eating quartz. Go bye-bye. Go get it.
Go get it. Go get Mortal Kombat. Take it off of HBO Max.
Yeah, there was the guy. Who was the guy that was like, "Hey, I look like Shang Tsung, but I'm like the bastard version of him that's like not even better." Like
I mean,
he wasn't.
Shang Tsung. So you're supposed to
No,
be.
sorry, not Shang Tsung. Shao Kahn. Like the guy with the hammer.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't recognize
Who is that guy?
I don't know who that was either.
Who was
Oh, really? Okay.
I
Who
really
was
don't
the
know.
woman with the wings?
That was
that's
Melina.
Natara.
No.
With the wings, it's Natara. She's
Okay.
from MK4.
Wait, no, that was
MK4.
Melina's with the teeth.
Yeah.
Natara, the Kung Lao fatality,
Mm-hmm.
was Natara. She's an MK4 character.
Okay, I didn't know who that was.
okay.
She, with the wings.
I'm-
flying.
All right.
Melina's the
I'm
one with the teeth.
remembering.
Yeah, she has.
I'm
the
remembering
size.
those as the same character.
Different characters.
Okay.
Who fought Melina? Sonya.
Sonya fought Melina, then whatever that guy is fought Melina later. The guy who was like the descendant of Scorpion, but not Scorpion.
The new character, Cole.
Cole, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the new character. I think that it's the. I think I'm having a little bit of trouble with the potential that this has as like a huge kick. Oh, do you know how many these actors are signed for, by the way?
I heard 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
5 total, 4 more films.
4 more films, yeah.
So if this goes well, Caleb, they could make 5 of them in total. So having said that, I want to mention that it did really well at the box office.
Well,
this
I think
weekend.
any movie right now might be doing well because there's nothing.
Because there's nothing.
If they burn through characters like they did in this one, are there going to be enough?
There
for
are.
There's a
five?
lot of
there's
Mortal
a
Kombat
huge,
characters.
There's a huge roster.
I mean, especially if they brought in like got random guy with a hammer that's
Yeah.
not Shao Kahn.
Yeah, no, definitely not Shao Kahn.
So is wait, did Sub? I'm trying to
I mean,
remember
Sub
again.
Zero's not dead.
No, he's not dead. That's
He's-
what I was like. He's not dead.
He could be. This is where they
That's
could
true.
involve Quan Chi and
Yeah.
use
Right.
Quan Chi
Mhm.
to bring him back to life. Shang Tsung could bring him back, and then he could actually be. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, you do. The Mortal Kombat 3 Sub Zero,
Mm-hmm.
like the guy with like the
Yeah, it was a
younger
different guy.
version.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
there's
that's where
multiple
he came from.
Sub-Zeros, and some are good and some are bad. Some are sad and some are glad.
So my biggest thing, or my biggest beef beyond the direction spots, the pacing, and the acting,
Yeah.
Mhm.
all pretty rough. My biggest problem with this is the way that they didn't learn anything from Annihilation or MK1 in the way that they structure. They have an opportunity, right? So there's all this fan service in there, and there should be.
Yeah, there should be some here and there, but not the cheesy stuff.
I don't know like how they say fatality and how they say finish them and how they say flawless victory and all that stuff. Take it or leave it for me, like whatever. Maybe that's like a producer that's making them do it. Who knows?
Yeah, but I guess either that you're.
Who knows? I'm with you on that. But the way that they've handled them is like the tournament isn't actually a part of the movie enough. So they explain the tournament.
It's not in the movie at all.
No.
There is no
they never
tournament.
made
No.
it there.
No, and so I don't know, maybe I incorrectly had an expectation that this was going to be, from the trailer, it was going to be
Pulling
a
the foam out.
new character. Our camera didn't even get that badly adjusted. Okay. So the tournament isn't in it at all, and that's my biggest problem with it, is that it all happens outside of the tournament and before the tournament, and so there's a pretty. I think the first scene between Sub-Zero and him attacking Scorpion and his family. First of all, if you're gonna consume a Mortal Kombat movie, it should be the animated movie Scorpion's Revenge, which is very good and much better than this film. So I want to say that first of all. And that is the same story, but actually better told, frankly. But that fight scene is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually sets you up for more disappointment down the line because you don't get the quality throughout the rest of the movie that you get from that first scene.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a ton of exposition, and all that stuff's fairly boring. And I understand that they're trying to shoehorn all that in, but when you combine it with like those dead spots, poor acting, poor direction, and
very poor costume design, I would say. The characters all looked bland. Like, this is Mortal Kombat. Like, give them cool designs. Like,
they had better designs than MK1.
I think so too. I think parts of this movie aren't as good as the 1995 movie.
And I guess I mean even the video game.
Oh,
like MK1, the video game. Like, they could have done. I mean, but even at that, yeah, just like you said, the '90s movie. They did a better job in spots.
I'm okay with them like playing with the formula, because this one thing that I'm just completely sick of in movies is the origin story. Like, I'm over origin stories. Like, go into the middle of the story, or don't reboot the same thing year after year. But so I'm okay with them playing with the formula a little bit, but they still went back to the well of like, well, now Raiden's got to explain the tournament and Outworld, and it's like, pick one lane or another. Either do the thing or do something completely different. And they kind of tried to split the gap, and it didn't work.
I'm going to ask you a weird question. Have you seen Bloodsport?
No.
You've seen Bloodsport.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie that came out in, was that the late 80s?
Oh, I would...
Early 90s?
I'm just going to say mid-80s.
Mid-80s even?
I'll double
Anyway,
check
it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and it's like, it's part of what inspired actually Mortal Kombat. And it's about an underground tournament of the world's best fighters. And it's somewhere in Japan. I don't know. The tournament's called the Kumite in the story.
88.
88. It's actually awesome. But I also saw it when I was like 10.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that awesome. But I think that movie is about a tournament, like a fighting tournament. And I've always been hoping that there would be like a Mortal Kombat story that was about the tournament. And this still didn't do it. And everything happened outside of the tournament. So at the end of this, maybe there still is the tournament to come, but all these characters have been killed off, which I also like because they commit to killing them off.
Yeah.
Which is good. Because that's what Mortal Kombat is all
about.
Well,
but then Scorpion comes back from hell. So like,
well, but that's his origin story.
Yeah, but like,
he's always come back from hell.
Yes, but they've opened the door to like people that are dead may not be
Sub-Zero
dead.
won't die. I mean, Sub-Zero would always be back because he's Sub-Zero. Anyway, yeah, I just wish it was more about the tournament, and I will say that I would feel a little more raw about this or frustrated by it coming up short if the campaign stories weren't already so good in the games. But the most recent trilogy, 9, 10, and 11, have done maybe the best job of telling a Mortal Kombat story of anything.
And they're ridiculous.
Animation,
they're
they're awesome. Yeah. So I don't feel bad because the games are actually doing the best job of telling the story. And I don't think anyone tells fighting game stories like NetherRealm. I mean, it's even better than some regular stories, regular narratives in games. So I think I would feel worse if I wasn't so happy with what NetherRealm has done in their story modes. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if they keep making them. I would be okay if they didn't because I don't really... I wasn't super happy with this.
I don't want to see a second one.
I'd watch a second one. I would easily watch a second one.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I would watch
honestly.
it. Did you?
So on
okay.
That's
really interesting because maybe your expectations are super low. Mine are somewhere in the middle because I want it to be bad or I want it to be good so badly.
So on Letterboxd, the movie rating app, you can rate things 1 to 5 stars, and then there's also a heart whether you like it or not. So this is a really weird one for me because I rated it 2 stars out of 5, but also gave it a heart. Because it's like, this is not a good movie, but I actually really enjoyed watching it. Because it's kind of, it was hokey in a lot of ways. I like the plot sucked, like the plot's bad, whatever. But like the fight scenes themselves were pretty enjoyable.
I agree with that for the most part. I do. Besides that reptile fight, like you do Reptile dirty like
They made him a literal lizard.
Yeah, turn him into his like ninja form if you're gonna have him fight.
I was expecting him to like
Stupid.
morph out of the lizard form at some point into a ninja, and he never did.
Yeah.
What do you think of the markings and unlocking your superpower?
Dumb as hell.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that either.
Yeah, that's pretty anime. Like that's
Oh, really?
yeah, that's a literally anime.
No
But,
kidding.
like,
I
Sony-
didn't know that.
But
Oh.
Sonya didn't have any markings, and neither did Kano, and all of a
Well,
sudden...
Kano killed
Kano-
somebody who had
yeah.
it.
Oh, I didn't
And
get
then
that part.
Sonya killed Kano,
Kano, okay.
which is how she unlocks hers.
I didn't get that part of it, I guess.
I guess I'm like torn on that because it's a new way of introducing, like it's actually kind of a grounded way of introducing these people having superpowers. So
Yeah, I guess.
you know what I mean? I'm a little bit torn on that because
Yeah.
these are people that are throwing fireballs and like Kano's shooting a laser out of his eye. So like they found a reason.
Kano's laser that came out of his eye was also because he had a mechanical... He was a cyborg at some point. He had like a metal plate on his face. That whole thing was like... They showed him having all those scars on his face. That's I was like, oh, well, like something's going to happen. And like Reptile scratches his face. He needs to get this thing done to him.
Maybe that's where I differ from you guys because I don't care really if they stick to the script from the games or not. I'm okay with a reinterpretation. Like I was okay with Reptile being a reptile. I wonder if maybe that was part of it too. Like you guys wanted it to be more faithful, and I didn't really care that much.
I would like to see a more faithful take, but one that is good and about like the tournament. And this wasn't
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
again about the tournament.
I would have
the movies have
loved
never been that way though.
If they just dropped us halfway into a tournament
Yeah.
and we just picked up from there, I would have loved that. Like I don't need to see how everybody gets their superpowers. That's been done a billion times.
And if it was done well, I maybe could have swallowed
Yeah.
it, but it wasn't done well. So that's where I really
Just
had
no
a hard
more.
time
Can we
with
just
it.
do away with training montages in movies from here on out? Can we just ban that forever?
That's really, I think about it, like that's the most frustrating thing for me is that they finally get to the point where it's like, all right, if I love these video games and I'm here because I love these video games, I'm picturing like this person fighting this person facing off this person, and that's like a 10-minute chunk of the movie where they finally get assigned, all right, you from Outworld fight this person, you
And
from Earthrealm fight this person, and then it's like, it's over.
They kind of did the camera angle where it was like side to side, but they didn't commit to it either. So it was like
It's almost like they were one. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Just go all the way.
right.
Yeah.
If they would have literally pulled the camera out and then just put 2 temporary health bars up there, might have made it better.
I don't know. Like that's what Doom did.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
what Rock's Doom did. I mean, Carl Urban and Rock eventually
Right.
went first person mode, and everybody was like, "Yay!" You know. So,
I guess it was just if I would prefer if they either go super serious and make it a real tournament or go full goof and just make it dumb as hell.
I think that's where it struggled. Is it tries to split the difference between one or the other, and they should have picked a lane.
Yeah.
yeah. I would say that maybe we can make a transition to another animated show.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for
Ooh.
Mortal Kombat
Yes.
content, I'll end it here by saying that the games are probably the best at storytelling, which I
Yeah.
thought I would never say.
Yeah.
So I'm actually happy.
I mean, think about it though. There's not been a good video game movie. I mean, the Resident Evil movies not good.
Yeah.
The stories,
Still waiting on it.
stories in
A
the
lot of people
games
liked
are
Sonic.
decent.
Sonic didn't do a ton for me, but it was okay.
I
I
should
thought the
see
Sonic
Sonic.
movie was all
I
right.
should see Sonic. I should see Sonic.
My personal favorite of all video game movies, and I have to think about this for just 1 second just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, but I'm pretty sure it's the most recent Tomb Raider. I actually liked that movie.
I don't think I ever really watched the Tomb Raider movies, but I mean, at the same time, that lends itself to be a movie.
Yeah.
Because it can be whatever. Also, Sonic the Hedgehog, there's not really much of a story in Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
so you can use the character in whatever form you want. You don't have any real story you've tied it
Right.
back to. Otherwise, you're just running as
Yeah.
fast as you can.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe that's where video game movies struggle, is because they're trying to stay in with the video game story, And video game stories they've been weak for a long time. Like, we're just recently getting into the point where video game stories are good.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, like before probably, I don't know, 2010, like video game stories were all bad.
Mm-hmm. Or they just weren't there because there was just like,
yeah.
it was, 5 lines of text and a picture background in a 16-bit game, and it was like, oh, this is why we're doing this. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so I think that's part of it too. I mean, as a kid, I had no idea what Dr. Robotnik was doing to those random bunnies he captured in those
He was
tanks.
putting them in this mean bean machine.
Right. So, if anything, I got a story of Dr. Robotnik out of this thing.
I'll have to see that.
It's
on my list.
It's decent. It's pretty decent.
Kid appropriate too, probably, right?
Yes, also kid appropriate, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could watch it then.
It's on something now I saw recently. I think one of the streaming services that we have.
I think that I would, if you guys are into good animated things, which I think we all are, I would say that Scorpion's Revenge is really good and way better than what you guys just watched.
It focuses specifically on Scorpion.
Not just Scorpion, but it does a better job of telling the story. It's Scorpion and Sub-Zero's rivalry, the death of Scorpion, the resurrection of Scorpion, and him pursuing Sub-Zero while the tournament the tournament enters its 10th cycle and the realms are about to be exposed.
Yeah, it's the same story.
Okay,
for the most
but
part.
it's way better. It's got different characters. It's like Johnny Cage is a part of the tournament, and it's actually really good. Not as good as the stories in the games, in my opinion, but good. So I would say, if you're interested to see what a better version of that looks like, it's actually already been done. And it's a shame, too, because they may not make a sequel to that, because I don't know how well it did. I hope they do, but...
Well, they did. They released it in such a weird way.
Just a Blu-ray release. So.
I watched it on YouTube.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you have seen Scorpion's Revenge?
Like a year or two ago.
Okay. You should watch it. Yeah, it's good. But I am caught up with you guys on Invincible.
Hey, guys, we need to talk.
Yeah.
I need to know what's after we need to talk. I need to know what episode 8 is about.
I know.
Now.
I just got to say, I think every episode up till this point has had an after credits scene, right?
Except this one.
Except this one.
I'm like
I know, I'm sitting there like
I am actually really glad it didn't.
Oh, so am I.
Because I'm sitting there like kind of like, what are they going to do after the credits? And then I'm still processing everything that happened, literally letting the credits run the whole way through.
Oh, me too.
Just because I'm like still processing everything that just happened. So that was a really good decision, I think, to not have anything there.
Oh yeah. Man, that shit. That show's good.
I had no idea that this show was going to be like this. No clue. And it is absolutely.
I have been telling every random person I know to watch Invincible because I don't think no one's heard of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, you need to watch this. I was like, oh, do you like superhero movies? Well, yes, you should watch this.
Yeah.
Because this is better than all of those.
So when you recommend that to someone, do you give them, when you say, do you like superhero movies? Yay!
I go the violent route.
Okay. Just as long as you're giving them letting them know, because Invincible is not.
No, it is not a Marvel.
It's not an MCU thing.
It's not a DC thing. It is a.
It's not even like Joker Ledger. Like I'm trying to think of like maybe the darkest comic thing that these people have been exposed to. It's not even like, I would say SimCity in a way is tamer than this in a way.
I also caveat it with
like adult issues, drugs, and rape.
I caveat it with it's from the writer of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect to it, and I was like, it's animated. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of violence.
Maybe Deadpool would be.
But Deadpool's corny.
No, but I mean as far as like the violence goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because it's it gets to Deadpool gets to be like comic violent.
Yeah.
At times. But at the same time, this is kind of comically violent
right.
because it's animated.
Oh, God.
And it's
when he's going through those dudes in the kitchen or whatever when,
I don't
he gets
know,
home.
some of the it's actually it's kind of like I don't know if I've ever seen a 2D animated show that has the type of anatomy detail that this show does. I mean, they are ripping people apart, and it's like very anatomically correct. It's
And
like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
I think the impressive part about it is it's not doing that for, like you said, a comedic purpose. It's not doing that as a shock factor purpose. It's doing that to highlight the impact, which is like it adds to the show. It's additive. It doesn't take you out of the show. It doesn't make you have a different emotion than what's going on. It adds to the experience, which I think is really impressive.
The people that they were replaced with, the teen group, when they beat up somebody, they beat up somebody like a Marvel movie would.
Right.
When Omni-Man does it, it shows how much more powerful he is than everybody else, and how much more crazy he is than everybody else. That to me is where I see the difference in the line of why it's important to the story of why he is the bad guy of the show. I mean, maybe, I'm not even sure who. There's so many people at this point.
Yeah, to be determined.
Yeah.
Even with all that we know and all that he's done, it's really, it's just so well crafted.
We don't even know why yet.
Right. And it could be perfectly justifiable. It could not be. And so we're all like, even you caught yourself, right? Like, he's the bad. What?
Yeah.
Even with all he's done.
Because, so he may not be the
he's
bad guy,
done some heinous things.
but he's the most powerful.
It's the same thing
and it's
with
not even close.
With all of the characters that we might consider to be a bad guy in this show. Is there's a perfectly reasonable explanation why they are doing the things they're doing.
Even Alan the alien.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the guy with the daughter makes perfect sense why he has the arc that he has. The I don't remember his name, but the lion dude that just beat the crap out of everybody.
That episode's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that 5?
5.
6?
It's 5.
5.
Because then 6 was
okay.
kind of a cool down episode, and then 7 was this recent one.
6 is the one with the university, right?
Yeah, 6 is the university one.
Man, even parts of that one though, still very good.
Yeah. Yeah. That show.
I'm sad there's only one more.
I am too. It's like, oh my god. But I wonder, like, I don't know, I don't want to research any of this story, this comic at this point, because I don't want to be spoiled by anything, or like, are there more stories in this universe?
I hope so. I hope this goes for a while.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like 3 seasons or something, I'll be happy with it. I mean, I don't want it to ever get to a point where it's, gets to Walking Dead territory where, hey, this thing's still on.
Right.
But,
it's harder to make than The Walking Dead, so
yeah,
I doubt that'll happen.
Yeah,
The Walking Dead's also just like, it's just I don't know, maybe not, because The Walking Dead started out as like the very typical AMC 6 episode. Like, we'll see how it does. And you're thinking, okay, it'll be 6 seasons. But then, like, the money got so out of control.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the #1 show for, like, 5 years running on cable.
With Invincible.
That's not going to happen with Invincible.
No.
Yeah, and also they're clearly spending a lot of money on voice talent.
Dude, the cast is unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's what makes the show even better, I think, is just they got real talent. Like, Walton Goggins as Cecil has just been...
He's incredible. Like, that Cecil character.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. Cecil, is he the best character on that show?
I don't know. Man, he's a great character, but I mean, there's so many good characters on that show.
I know. Every time, like, I don't know what, maybe it's because you guys know me. Hi, longtime Walton Goggins guy.
Right.
Love you.
Not even, well, you're not a unicorn guy, though. That's Caleb's thing.
No, but I am a S.H.I.E.L.D. guy.
Yeah.
And every time Cecil's on the screen, I'm just like I'm transfixed by this animated character, Every time he says something, his performance is just like unbelievable. God, he's so good in that role.
Yeah, in this last episode when she said, "I hate you, Cecil," or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, that's why I hate me too." It's like,
yeah. Yeah, he carries that burden because he's a human in charge of this giant responsibility and makes hard decisions every day.
Yeah,
like I'm like, God, Cecil, you're just like, I hate you too, but I love you, and I everything. Every time that character, no matter what happens, Cecil can't die. That's why I love Cecil. Such a good character.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you caught up, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Are
I
you
thank
enjoying
God
this?
you guys gave me the buffer, like not the
Yeah.
buffer, but the prep, because that first episode is like
the first half hour of that show is pretty terrible.
Yeah. Because you think it's just going to be a cliche,
And that's
regular.
I'm always and that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, the show is going to be kind of boring,
Yeah.
and then the credits are going to roll. Do not turn it off as soon as the credits roll.
Yep.
I mean, they do play it smart, and they only do like 2 credits.
Yep.
And then it happens.
Are you, Jason, after hearing how high Logan and I are on this, are you on the same level we are, or are you a peg below?
I'm right there.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay, good.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think you guys might like it a little more than I do, but that's okay. I think that
You're still high on the show.
I'm really yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's for people like us, or if you fancy yourself a fan of premium television, this show is absolutely undeniable. Like, it's undeniable. The quality is so high. It's got to be one of the best animated things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it also, and you'll get this, but it reminds me of the 90s shows that we watched, like the Batman animated series,
X-Men.
the X-Men, even the Spider-Man show a little bit, not as much, but it had some serious tone to it. The way the characters were rendered were more serious. They weren't fun in a way that, you know what I mean? They were
was no
cartoon
comedy in those shows.
but they were dramas. They were dramas for kids. And now we're here.
There's comedy, but it's not.
No, there is, right.
No,
you're totally right.
I've only watched one episode of the Batman show, but it's hilarious when there's just a random guard doing patrol duty. He walks into a room and shines his flashlight, and he sees Batman there, and he's like, "Yeah, this room's clear." And then he just turns and walks.
There's dry humor, I guess.
Right. Yeah, it's not outlandish. It's not meant to be laugh every 30 seconds or so. Where, and
so I think we're finally at the place where we've got something that is in that tone, but we're going all the way with it.
if I could have a whatever rating this is of an X-Men from a violent standpoint, it'll never happen. But man, I could really go for that.
Yeah, now especially because Disney's involved, that's not happening.
These are unlicensed characters built from a different kind of story,
and I think
which gives them that freedom.
My guess is whatever the visual novel this is from is probably just as violent.
Yeah.
If not more.
Imagine, but I don't know.
And man, that logo this week was about as red as it could be. I was like, when you said that, I was like, oh my God, next week is just going to be like the entire thing is just going to be covered in blood. Like, it's not even going to be close.
Not much left of Immortal.
All right, let's move on, because I think we gotta we have another discussion like this next week as well. Probably,
yeah, we do.
So.
Gosh, where do we go next? Falcon and the Winter Soldier ended.
Yeah, I gave up on that show after episode 2, and I'm kind of glad I did based on the reactions I've heard.
It's fine. It ends the way you think it's going to end. It's nothing crazy. It is no longer Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It is now Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And Captain America 4 is being made with Sam as Captain America now. Cool. Shocker, right? Story was fine along the way. Fine. That's all I have to say. You're not missing anything. If you ever just get bored, it's fine. Fine. Although I've watched Big Shot. Sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to transition to something else, and I was like,
speaking of shows that I have now dropped.
Did you watch episode 2?
I got about halfway through episode 2, and I'm like, this show sucks. It's bad.
Jeez.
I wouldn't say it's that bad.
No, it's pretty bad. So, okay, this is just a me thing. Okay, 2 moments in this spoiled the show for me. One was seeing John Stamos in sweatpants running around a park was just the most bizarre sight I have ever seen.
Is he out for a jog or what?
No, seriously, John Stamos runs funny. This was weird.
He runs funny, but also like John Stamos jogging through a park is just an image that just, I don't know. It's just
John
a
Stamos
huge
is naturally
disconnect for me.
yeah, like in my mind, John Stamos is naturally this handsome and in a good shape.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever have to run to do this.
Right.
So it really threw me off. And he does run funny, which makes me think that he doesn't do this normally. Like, why would he be in sweats? Everyone else is in a tank top and shorts, and he's out there in like a long sleeve and pants. It really kind of takes you out of it for a minute.
Yeah, that kind of, I don't know, for whatever reason, there was just a disconnect in my brain because of that. But then the scene where the star girl is talking to her dad, and he's like, I want you to shoot the ball more. And she's like, but coach wants me to pass. And the dad says, I thought I was your coach. I'm like, no, it's over. This is too corny.
It's corny, but let's put it this way. I'm watching it with my 10-year-old daughter, and she thinks it's good.
Okay.
Because she's not seen anything like this before. She's 10. And it's age appropriate for her, and it's about a girls' basketball team.
Yeah,
so her and I are going to watch it together, and it is tolerable enough for me to watch. It is better than most Disney shows. So if that tells you anything.
I think they've done a really poor job of establishing any character as being interesting.
That is very true.
I don't have any character on that show that I particularly care to learn more about.
They did not do a good enough job of establishing him, of John Stamos. He essentially was, they made him out to be Bobby Knight.
Yeah.
And there was about a 30-second montage at the beginning of the show of him yelling at referees and throwing a chair and hitting a referee. And that was our establishment into him being a not so great guy. But then every episode, he's just not bad enough.
Right.
Like, he's still too nice. And it's like, no, there should have been like 2 episodes of him being kind of a dick. Or I'm going to say kind of a dick, a whole dick. And then toward the end of episode 2, maybe being nicer and starting down this path.
Yeah.
But instead, he was pretty much nice at the end of episode 1.
Yeah.
But he's
been nice the whole time. Like, they try to make you feel like he's going to be the bad guy when he says the one girl needs to lose 10 pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like, she confronts him about it, and he's like, oh, the reason I said that was because blah, 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 not because I think you're fat. So it's like they just immediately tried to make him into
They never make him enough of the villain.
Yeah.
And then to make him truly redeemable. That's the other. Yeah, I'm with you there. Like, no, I'm not saying the show is good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the show is. I'm going to continue watching it because it's something my daughter and I will watch together.
Makes sense.
For her, it's a, hey, look at these girls playing sports together, and like there's usually like something fun happens for a 10-year-old girl to watch the show, and I think she can relate a little more to them.
Yeah.
So
there was one scene where, like, it was in the first episode where there were 2 girls that were talking to him at the same time, and it seemed like they almost had kind of a weird sexual tension thing going on. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're going to go that angle and like show like relationships between, and then they just kind of dropped it.
Are you talking about the one with the 2 girls he told them to have like a sleepover?
Yeah.
And they were like, and the one girl was, she was like, you tried to hit on me last time. And it was like, what? Like, okay. Like, didn't know we were going there.
But I kind of like, that's the kind, maybe not specifically that thing, but I kind of wish they would do anything like that. Like,
if it gets any better, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing probably not.
Yeah.
I've very well tempered my expectations on a show I had 0 expectations of to begin with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one, it's John Stamos. But if he does do anything else weird, like running inappropriately, or not inappropriately, but just awkwardly,
Yeah.
God, I was not prepared for John Stamos running in sweatpants and just to throw me off.
Okay. I'm glad that it wasn't just me then.
No, it was real weird. Then he did it again later in the episode, and I could not. I was just like,
I've been furiously searching for a GIF or something, and I couldn't.
Okay.
I guess I should have just pulled up Disney Plus and watched
you
it.
probably could have.
Yeah, but while you were talking, I could have done that.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't thinking. Hey, the master of unlocking, you get the hottest big shot breakdowns every week.
it's
you
gonna
keep
it's
bringing
a new
them.
thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'll keep bringing them. Do I get the big shot minute every week?
I mean,
We're
sure.
literally going to time this.
No, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I maybe knock it down each week.
Yeah.
So what? How
Season
many
finale,
episodes?
you get
I don't know how many
second.
episodes
10?
it ultimately is going to be. I would guess maybe like 8. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
100%
So
sure.
he got at least. He probably spent what 10.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So we'll knock this in half every time.
exactly.
Oh gosh, it may not even get to that point.
So the series finale, you're gonna wind up with like 25 seconds.
No, look, what'd you think of the series finale, Big Shot? I thought it. That's my time.
Time
Oh, it is 10 episodes.
10. All right. So I recommend you're on episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in half. 8 minutes from now. Okay. So next week he gets.
Man, this goes
Next
all the
week
way
he
through
gets
June
4.
18th. That tells you, like, that's 10 weeks from now.
Dang.
4 minutes next week. Big shot. You better hope he doesn't run,
Yeah.
because you're gonna spend at least
Mhm.
2.5 minutes of your 4 on his run.
If he does anything else athletically, oh god, his jumper is terrible.
Oh yeah.
It is awful.
He shoots a basketball.
But he openly says, I'm not good at basketball. I never was good.
But he said he played in high school,
yeah.
which was like
But yeah, I guess even if you were in high school, you should have a better jumper. than that.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've talked way too much about this.
We have talked way too much about this show. But I have a show I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
Rutherford Falls.
I watched all of Rutherford Falls.
I've watched the first 5 episodes of this. So Jason, to
I
give
don't
you
know what this is.
So this is Ed Helms.
Oh, okay.
Is the
Network.
Peacock
Peak-
original.
Peacock original.
Okay.
So it is. Gosh, I'm trying to think of where to start. So he is a Rutherford, and is basically runs this historical society for Rutherford Falls, New Jersey, right?
Do they ever say the state?
I think
don't
it's
know
New
if they do.
Jersey,
Okay.
isn't it?
I missed the state if
maybe,
they said it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe yeah. So
Somewhere on the East Coast.
somewhere
We
on the
know
East
that.
Coast, yeah. And he is like really into it. Like really into his family history. He's the one who runs the historical area and everything. But there's also a Native American tribe from the area too that years ago, the Rutherfords and the Minneshuka
like that.
like agreed to like stay on this land and everything, that this was their land, and like they ultimately named it Rutherford, I think just Rutherford Falls or something like that. But then there's all kinds of weird things that are going on with it. But the main purpose of the entire series is there's a giant statue of Lawrence Rutherford,
Big Larry.
that is in the middle of Main Street, like literally in the middle of the street. And people like once a year, there's a massive car accident with somebody running into Big Larry. And so,
Not to be confused with Large Mac.
right, not to be confused with Large Mac. And the mayor wants to move the statue. And Ed Helms throws a complete fit, becomes a viral like YouTube thing for a hot minute of becoming like, because he went on this rant about this Big Larry statue. And
I think you might be going too deep into the plot to describe it. Basically, what you need to know is that
probably
he's a Rutherford long-standing family. There's also an Indian reservation that is very close to this town, and there is kind of a cultural struggle between the Rutherfords, who have a large corporation, the mayor of the town, and this reservation. There's also a casino attached to the reservation.
right.
So,
Ooh.
And it's all a cultural
but
thing of like
the thing that's really impressive about this show is they got the majority of the cast is Native American.
oh yeah,
Like they have actual Native American actors in the show,
Okay.
and they come at you from different angles of being a Native American. There's one, the guy that owns the casino. You might have recognized him from stuff. He's been in other high profile stuff. Terry, yeah. I don't remember his actual name, but because he's more of like a businessman type. Like he's running the casino the best he can. There's also one of the main characters in the show is a girl that runs the cultural center, which is in the casino. So she's kind of stuck in the middle between culture and profit.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's like a laugh out loud funny show, but it's really heartwarming.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of like something to compare it to. Yeah, there's definitely comedy in there here and there, but it is just a good show.
Yeah.
Like it's it's a B tier Ted Lasso maybe. Like that it's got some funny stuff in it, but it's not constantly trying to be funny. But it's a nice little half-hour show that's got a story to tell and everything. And do you? Because I'm only halfway through. Is this like a one and done? You think, or is this?
No, I think it'll probably keep going.
It could keep going. Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if like this is an isolated story to tell, or if there's more to.
No, it definitely ends on a cliffhanger. So.
Okay.
Oh, you've seen it all.
Yeah. There's
How
only
many
10.
episodes?
There's only 10
10.
episodes.
10.
So.
10 episodes, 22 minutes a pop. or
Michael
whatever.
Grey Eyes,
Yeah, that's the guy you probably recognize
Terry
from.
Tarbell. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, Dustin Milligan's in this
Yeah,
from Schitt's Creek.
yeah, he's
Ted.
he is an NPR reporter who came to town looking to see, like, because he saw the video.
Yeah.
And that's why I was trying to get into some of that was so he's in there because he's trying to essentially do a story. He just wants to do a story about what's going on with this Rutherford town. And so I have to tell you though, so I
recognize. Sorry, I know Michael Grey Eyes from I Know This Much Is True. That's where I saw
Somebody
him
said he
last.
was also in. What was it? It was one of the HBO shows. And I can't remember which one.
That's well, it could be another HBO
like one
show.
of the big HBO shows. I don't remember if it was like Boardwalk Empire or something like that. I don't know if it was that one, but it was one. I remember hearing that and being like, oh, he's been in like something huge.
True Detective.
Maybe that's it.
He was
yeah.
in the 3rd season of True Detective. Yep.
So Friday, I assume you maybe had watched a couple episodes
Probably.
because I started watching it and I had his 90th birthday.
Oh.
I was very confused and was just kind of like, well, okay, maybe that we're just trying to get like,
Yeah.
and like I started picking up on a few things here and there. And I'm like, okay, well, this is starting to make some sense. Like, what about this video that happened? Like, because that's the very beginning of that episode is
Yeah.
when they talk about this crazy thing. So I thought that was the first episode of the season.
Yeah, Peacock, as far as I can tell, does not have a profile feature, which
Nope.
kind of sucks.
Yeah, so careful
Yeah.
when you go to watch things that you're watching episode 1 and not episode 3 or 6 is where I ended up. But like that was, yeah,
One other
it was
note
unfortunate.
on Michael Grey Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He was the main character in the original Prey 360 era Prey
No kidding.
video game. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Also
played
goes
Tommy.
back to at least showing that hey, they culturally pick the right voices
Cast
for
as
these.
And
Native American.
think-
right?
Most of the stuff he's been in, as far as I understand, has been dramatic. And he does a really good job of being kind of funny in this
Yeah.
show.
Does he? Okay, that's good.
There's
Yeah.
there's definitely some comedy with him in there. I would have thought he had some comedy background.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's actually very. I mean, everybody's good. At
I wouldn't-
This much is true.
I wouldn't necessarily say that anybody needs to drop everything and watch this show.
No.
But I think it's a solid show. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, I agree. I would say this could be something like maybe you and Aaron watch together.
Okay, I'm gonna make her watch Ted Lasso next, and then
Yeah.
maybe we'll get to that afterwards.
Oh, I didn't realize she hadn't watched Ted Lasso.
Yeah, we were watching Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
so I went
yeah.
ahead and watched Ted Lasso because I
And
knew we weren't gonna
I
make
would
it.
watch Ted Lasso again too.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome.
Ted Lasso's.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did you guys see there was a teaser for season 2?
I did
Yeah.
not.
I think it's July is when it's going to come out.
Cool.
They put that in the Apple
Oh,
event. So
man.
I'm watching for
Did they put it in
like
the Apple
literally for
event?
work. I'm watching to see what like the new MacBooks or whatever are going to
Yeah.
be, and then I see a Ted Lasso, and I'm like, okay,
Woo!
And I was like, all right.
What
like,
happened? A new MacBook? No, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. It's an Apple product, right? Apple TV.
It's so good.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna need a show like this because I'm watching another HBO show
Oh no.
called The Mayor of Easttown.
I've heard that's very very good, but also very very dark.
Caleb?
This is Kate Winslet, right?
Yeah. So I have like I got lots of thoughts and on this. I made notes because
Go ahead.
she plays a detective, and there's a there's a girl who's been missing for a year, and so they want her to reopen the case. She's the lead detective, but this woman, as the pilot goes on, you realize like she's been through a ton of personal trauma, and they reveal it as the first episode goes along. And so it's another one of those shows that is like it's so good it hurts because it's too real. Much like The Plot Against America, and I know this much is true from last year. Like these are very real circumstances that happen to people all over the place, and like the examination of like quiet human suffering, slow human suffering. It's just like it's another one of those shows.
This is a Jason show.
It is.
It's depressing as hell. It's just
High production value, dark in plot.
Believable,
Good acting.
Unbelievable acting,
Yeah.
unbelievable direction, even from the children on the show. You know what I mean? Like it's just you live with this family for a series of episodes. You live with these people. You grow to care about them, and it's just that level of immersion that you get from this isn't a Max original. This is an HBO proper Sunday night. Like this is their thing, you know. Like this is their tent pole Sunday night show for 12 weeks or whatever it's going to be. And so with that, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get their best producers and their best direction. And what I would say about this is, well, shit. I had a hard time recommending I Know This Much Is True because it's hard to watch for the reasons like very real things, drug abuse, alcoholism, mental illness, like things that make it hard to consume because it's not like, the world's in danger, or it's super violent, or like it's hard to watch, and like your neighbor could be dealing with this, or you have family members who deal with this, and it's like, I come to TV to escape. I don't need to be reminded of the harsh reality of the world, but if you can get through that, I enjoy being affected by those things, and I think this show will do that once again. It is a detective show though, so like there's a little bit of like, ooh, the mystery. What's going on? There's a little bit of the killing in this.
ooh.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you watched The Killing. I don't
did
think
not
you did.
know.
I mean,
you remember what it was like when the killing happened?
Yeah, I mean, Dish Network said that they were going to get rid of A&E, and the dad got really mad and started beating on lockers.
Not had anything to do with his daughter disappearing or dying. No, it was because Dish Network was pulling it. Logan will always remember that A&E or AMC is leaving Dish. And he just slams the lockers like that's taken way out of context. So there's a little bit of that, but since it's HBO doing it, and I came in here, I made a note that I was like, well, maybe I can recommend this to you guys because at the core of it all, you get Kate Winslet, and Kate Winslet is unbelievable. Like she's unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
She's a British woman playing someone who grew up in Pennsylvania and talking like a Pennsylvanian. She's drinking Rolling Rock and like doing the hard like like it's unbelievable. She's almost in like every scene of the first episode, so she's working her ass off too. But that was, I mean, Ruffalo's great too, and I couldn't recommend I Know This Much Is True. But also, I think I Know This Much Is True might be less of a fun watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because there's a core mystery, and there's going to be a whodunit in the show, and that may drive it ultimately, which might be more fun to watch. But also,
how many are out so far?
1.
Just 1. Okay.
2 tonight.
Gotcha.
Tonight's number 2. One thing that it does drive me a little bit crazy, and we'll see, but I think I already know who the killer is.
Oh.
We'll see. And I also think that the main murder happens at the end of the first episode, and you know who it's going to be the whole time. And it is the most, in HBO fashion, it's like the person you want to happen the least. The person who's the most vulnerable, and the most to lose, not just for them, but the people around them. So, like, they not only set it up to the obvious to what's going to happen, but, like, lives will be ruined by this, what's going to happen to this person. And not only that, but they're the person with the least having it come to them because they're the most vulnerable and the most innocent out of all the scumbags on the show.
Gotcha.
And you can see it coming. And I don't think that's great. Because one, it's like, oh, what are you doing? No, God, you're uncomfortable. And then two, it's like, telegraph that one a little bit, huh? So it might not be of the quality of those other two shows yet. I don't know, because if you can see everything at face value, maybe not the strongest. So we'll see after the end if I've identified the killer already. Then like
yeah, it might be. I mean, they might be throwing a red herring there too.
Yeah,
so.
I hope so.
I mean,
I hope
yeah,
so.
you look at like how True Detective did all that stuff and everything. I mean, there was 20 people it could have been, so maybe it is. I mean, The Killing was the same way too. If you're looking at it that way, there was so many people it could have been, and then ultimately, it wasn't anybody you thought it was. Anybody even close to who you thought it was. Every week was a new person that they were investigating. That it was like, oh, it's got to be this person. There's no way it can't be this person. It's not that person.
I don't like that was fun, and I don't know if you're gonna get that from this show.
No.
You will get the mystery, but it could be pretty dour along the way.
I was just looking through to see if there was anything uplifting that Kate Winslet has ever done.
Yeah, give it to me. Revolutionary Road.
Exactly. The best thing I could find was The Holiday, which is a romantic comedy.
Is she with Jack Black in that movie?
Yes.
Is that her significant other?
Yeah. And then also around that same time, she did a voiceover work in an animated film called Flushed Away. Other than that, I'm having a really hard time finding something that it doesn't start with a depressed mom is blah blah blah. You know, like
she's a
that's what she
actress,
does. I mean,
she's
she's a very good actress. Just not happy movies just aren't her thing.
She's in top form. I can tell you that. The one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys in the vein of maybe a recommendation is that we all grew up in small towns, and this takes place in a small town, and there are things about my childhood that were like, I know they will resonate with you guys, which maybe is enough for you to look at it and feel that way, because it's like she grew up in this small town, she didn't leave. She feels like she's stuck. She's got family here. Like there are things about this place that she can't leave, and she cherishes them, but she more so hates them than anything else. And they do a really good job of setting the size of this community, the kind of jobs these people have, the economy there, like all of those things. Which I was like, I've seen all this in reality. This is really. It's the authentic nature of the show that has me hooked. And usually it's like the whodunit, but I don't know. It's pretty strong so far. But I mean, what else would you expect? It's HBO Sunday night thing.
Yeah,
so.
Right. They throw a tentpole out there every once in a while here for everybody to watch, and this is one of them. So
I also wonder if this was done during
probably
the pandemic. Because if it was, like, good on them. Because it doesn't seem like it. You know what I mean? Like there's a pretty large cast. There are large groups of people. It seems like the community's pretty alive in the shots. So good for them. Because if it's releasing now, it had to have taken place during all this chaos.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's it for me.
Yeah, I think I'm good too. So, all right. Well, we don't have a fast food challenge for next week.
Oh yeah,
There was so much talk about a large Mac.
There was chicken everywhere.
Anything that anything else new?
We've all done our favorite food too.
Yeah.
It was the quick ace in the hole.
I was gonna pop up Chew Boom here again real quick, and
I'm trying to think if I've seen anything.
Oh gosh.
During the week, do you guys think, oh yeah, that'll be a food challenge thing? But not make a note. I do.
I do, but I just haven't seen anything recently.
Was there an ongoing challenge that we've tabled?
Nope.
Unless we want to hit more of these chicken sandwiches, that'd be the only other thing.
The chicken sandwich train?
because we have not done we've not done Burger King's new chicken sandwich.
They have a new chicken sandwich?
Yes, they have a.
I had no idea.
Unless we're gonna do Chick-fil-A's new lemon kale Caesar salad. Oh, I had a thought. I forgot.
No kale. No, no.
No,
it's not
I
part
forgot
of
about
this.
this.
You're talking a large Mac over here.
Firehouse Subs has a pepperoni and
Oh,
meatball
right.
sub.
You
Do
mentioned
it.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, the
Done.
meatball sub at Firehouse Subs.
Done.
By the way, did you see we're getting a Jersey Mike's?
Mm-hmm.
Are we really?
I like Jersey Mike's.
I've never had
it.
one, but I've.
It's good.
So there we go. We've
Yeah.
got more. We've got more
It's
fast food.
well, it's
content on
coming
the
in
way.
like August, but
We'll still be doing this in August.
we've been doing it for so long at this point. Yeah, we'll be doing this. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be doing this.
With the way we've been progressing with our production, we'll have like an actual studio by August.
I know, right? I'm getting quotes right now, so
Pretty good. I mean,
So we'll see.
Pretty good so
But
far.
stay tuned next week for your pepperoni and meatball review, as well as tons more Big Shot coverage.
Yeah.
tons.
We're gonna break down John Stamos's jogging form next week.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Good day.